Okay, so let me maybe transition into a different topic here. When it comes on to Diosdado Cabello, right? When it comes on to him, for the average person that doesn't know who he is, can you break down who he is to the average person?
He's a former military that was part of Chavez coup and has been close to the top group of the regime and involved in all kind of illicit activities. And right now he has been named Minister of Interior, and he's in charge of the police and looking over the repression and persecution campaigns that the regime is deploying.
Now, I want to know, is he as brutal as people say he is? Like, do you have any stories of like certain examples?
Well, they after the election, he put in place a campaign called Operación Tuntún, which meant they would send the police or paramilitaries to visit the homes of citizens that had worked as electoral monitors, for instance, and they tear down the doors of the houses. They would take them away. They would mark the doors with crosses. If they didn't find the people they were looking, and I'm talking about citizens that their only task was to be there, watch the process, and get their own tally sheet and give it to us. And they were persecuting every single person that were involved. They even imprison children. As we speak, there are 68 minors that have been tortured. They have been burned. They had electrical shocks, accused of terrorism. I speak with their mothers almost every day. It's heartbreaking, but at the same time, they are the ones that give me strength and tell me, to keep fighting for their children. So Maduro is committing a huge mistake. The way he decided to go all the way with violence and isolate himself from the rest of the world. Believe me, not even in the BRICS meeting, Maduro is wanted now. He's absolutely toxic. He's a pariah. So he certainly is trying to make the world think that he will stay at any cost, because that gives the incentives for countries around the world, including the United States, to simply try to turn the page and look and concentrate on other issues. There is no other single conflict in the Western Hemisphere that is a priority for national security as it is Venezuela. And believe me, there is a true possibility to solve it in the short term if we act now. Because the consequence of not doing this would be, as I said before, 5 or 6 million Venezuelans live in the country. The way that these criminal gangs, some of them are reaching the United States already, are being organized from Venezuela. They have not left Venezuela. They are organized from Venezuela, and they operate in a whole continent. The way the stabilization, political destabilization of the region is increasing. And finally, I have to say this. I mean, there is no other single country in the region, Patrick, that could turn into the energy ally, trustable energy ally. You mentioned it before about our oil reserves as Venezuela. The metrics of our recruits match perfectly with the United States refinery system. This can only be taken advantage of if you have an open market system in which the rule of law is respected, in which private property is respected, and which you can have external investment stimulated. And that will happen with us. So, I mean, from every perspective that you look at it is a top priority and a win-win situation for the United States.
Let me ask you, when we look at Brazil, what Lula is doing, right? And even I think story came out that Lula was distancing himself from Maduro. And that's pretty weird for a socialist to even say they're distancing themselves from Maduro is a little bit weird. But is Cabello, is he at the same level to Maduro as Alexandre de Moraes is to Lula? Is he that powerful or not that powerful?
Look, I would say that things are moving as we speak. And any answer that you get from someone right now in Venezuela would be speculation. I would say he's very powerful at this point, but this is a very unstable situation, what's taking place right
for
now.
him.
And regard for all of them, for the regime. So, I mean, they just, look, Maduro last week decided to take out the chief of the civil intelligence unit and the military intelligence unit, two of them at the same day. And these were top individuals that had been for years with them. He then got into prison, the last president of PDVSA, the oil company. And he took it out. Now he's in prison, and he's going against people that were in his surroundings. So this is a moment in which it's very hard to know which way, against whom they are going. But as I say, it's a situation of enormous instability in which the whole country desires, and I'm talking about the military as well, a pacific, peaceful transition to democracy.
The way, I guess this is the power question I'm trying to find out. Does Cabello own Maduro, or does Maduro own Cabello? Who owes who? Who owns who?
I would say that so far they have needed each other. I'm not going to speculate who is going to win this fight. But right now, it's true. Things are not at a good moment for them, and it shows the regime has deeper fractures than people used to think.
Deeper fractures than they used to think. Okay.